Welcome back. Another episode of Path 7. First thing I want to discuss is just how a lot of people are like projecting their insecurities onto us. And I'm starting to understand and notice anytime the moon goes into Capricorn, that's where people choose to do their rituals and their energy transfers and all their like lower vibrational things. And because people are like the people when you're dealing with traumatized people, instead of getting to the root cause of their suffering or their healing, what they do is it's hard to say they go higher into their chakras, because that's somebody like me. I always lived in my higher chakras, my heart chakra and upper, because my Venus is in Pisces, which means I transcend love and I live in a higher aspect of love. Who else? My sun is in Aquarius. My rising's also in Venus. My rising's also on my Venus as well, Pisces. So I'm a very mastered being when I'm like thinking logically and not going too far into like the emotions of spirituality. Not the actual, what's the word I want to use? Not the actual how can I say it? Not the actual like illogical parts of spirituality, which can seem like mental delusion and everything else. It's more of how well you resonate with yourself. Because at this point, everybody's trying to give you like their perspective, and everybody's perspective is just false. It's just everybody's like trying to like you have clean water, and everybody else is just pouring oil into your water. So it's like more of it's like it's one of those things where you're just trying to like. It's not that you don't understand what's going on. It's because you haven't been raised in trauma. So it's like where other people like literally, where other people are like they're trying to force you into their traumas. You're at a state of like, I don't resonate with this because I am above this. Like your lower levels of spirituality is really just like your instincts that took over your mentals. You know what I mean? So it's like putting a glove on. I apologize, but it's a little cold. It's early, but yeah, like I said, it's people that, how can I say it? People that instincts have taken over their higher mind. And if your instincts have taken over your higher mind, then how can you actually evolve? What are you evolving into? You know what I mean? You're evolving into like being a better animal, instead of like evolving from an animal to an actual person. Going from your root chakra up to your crown, you're going from red to purple, or like from root as is your crown to your feet, which is your lowers, which is your crown. So you literally made heaven, well, hell your heaven, and heaven your hell. So it's like, even if you take the duality aspect of it, where you went to more, people go into more, where you're supposed to like transcend Earth, you're supposed to still learn from Earth. So most everybody else is just they're trying to teach us things that don't make sense. And it's like we have to force ourselves to understand other people's traumas and delusions. So it's literally like I have to force myself to understand or think like you. Like, you're a being of delusion. You're trying to teach me your ways of the world, which aren't real. And then I'm adjusting to your level of insanity. So instead of actually like you actually doing the work and actually like progressing to who you are, all you're doing is just trying to lie to me about, try to get me to use my instinct to see through reality instead of my intuition. You know what I mean? Like actually using divine guidance to get me to where I'm going, rather than repeating the same cycles. Because these people have repeated cycles for so long that they actually like, they're trying to tell you to do the same thing. It's like, why would I repeat cycles that I've already grown from? I came into life with no karma, if not low karma. No. The more intuition you have, the more karma you'll have, because you're going to be placed around people and situations that you have to transcend. So it's not that you don't understand. It's not that you don't understand reality. It's just the people around you, because they know that you operate in higher facilities. What they're going to do is pretty much make everything to you, which you like, this doesn't make sense. This isn't in divine order. They'll try to force you to see how other people see. So you can't force somebody to see through your levels of trauma. Like you can't force me to live through instinct if I live in my intuition. So as in saying that, it's just a whole time where there's a lot of people who like they're trying to rule the world through trauma. They're trying to like force us to see through instinct rather than like living the life that we know through our intuition. So this is a moment where a lot of people are like watching me because I'm not a celebrity, but I'm a targeted individual, meaning that a lot of the things that happen to me are like supercharged, so people can always reap energy from me. But I've learned to ground my energy and stay in the moment and detach from situations that don't help me grow, you know? So as in saying that, when you actually get to a place of understanding life and reality, you don't have to, hey, there you go, boy. You don't have to like get into perspectives that don't help you grow. So as in saying that, it's the little things, you know? It's actually like creating a system in which everybody can be free, but people are choosing the same level of suffering. So if you can be free and I give you a path of being free and you keep choosing suffering, then you belong in suffering. I can't do anything with you. You just want to suffer, you know what I mean? And you're trying to project the world that same level of suffering instead of teaching people how to grow to their intuition or live in their intuition. And then like when life tests us with these same levels of, how can I say it? When life tests us with these same levels of like, it's not intuition. When life tests us with the same levels of this delusion, because the sun is in Pisces, so it's nothing but delusion. So it's like, okay, do I choose to like see life through an ungrounded, traumatized way, or do I choose my higher self so I can literally like see heaven? If heaven is on earth and not in some far off land that I can't achieve. And that's what the same thing that these preachers and everybody tells you, that heaven is some far off place instead of it being right here in front of you. So as you're saying that, the more and more we do this work to actually like break these thresholds that these people want to keep us in and keep us in these like, it's not uncomfortable spaces, but they're trying to talk us out of the things that we know. And one of the things you always have to be able to know and understand is these entities are attaching to us. So as we're starting to interact with these beings that we cannot see, but we feel them, like your dogs, your cats, I can't even say that because the same level of intuition that we have is the same level of perception that the beings, the animals around us have. So if you're in a low vibratory state, the same, your pets will be in a low vibratory state. So it's like, no matter how much you think you see, how much you know, like people say dogs see everything. No, dogs see from the limited perspective that you give them. You know what I mean? Everything you have is a blank canvas. So as in saying that, you either like feeding people like actual color, or you have people like seeing into black and white, which is the same trauma that you're teaching everybody to see through. So that's why I tell you, like a lot of people grow older, but they don't grow up. So as in saying that, these entities, these groups, these corporations, they keep you they keep you restricted from like tapping into your heart chakra or your space of love, because they know once you get to a certain point, they can't control you anymore. So if they can't control you, how are they going to be able to keep reaping energy from you? So as in saying that, I mean, it's literally like the more and more you truly wake up and take your power back, the more you'll be able to see where like people are doing what they're doing. And like for right now, this is one of those situations where I know what I know, but the more I speak on it, the more it's just going to seem delusional because it's only my experience. It's not, that's the difference between spirituality and the actual experience. And that's where you get from like, all right, this is real and this isn't real. So like I said, this is where I can always see between actual reality and that bullshit. And that's wherever you got to always be able to tap into, see like, all right, what am I getting? What is life trying to translate to me? Is it telling me the real things, or is it going to tell me like other people's level of, not delusion, but you got to see it from the perspective of, even if we're all having a conscious trip, that trip is only detailed between how much you've healed and progressed through these same situations. So there's nothing in life that's against you except for your level of perceiving what you're going through. So as they're saying that, when you're ready for certain things will come to you. Like you could literally be surrounded by like earth angels and people that support you, but they can't get to you because of the level of perception that you're on. So if you're really like if your teachers, if your parents, if your guardians, the people that are around you are a gatekeeper in your situation for you to tap into your higher chakras, then at that point you'll never be able to tap into the real perspective that you're trying to go to. As in saying that, it's like, how can I say it? Like with me, a being of higher knowledge, it's just like I can see what people are always trying to do, but at the same time, it's like I'm so protected, I'm so guided because I understand how to get to higher levels of consciousness, and other people can't. So people are literally trying to like attach themselves to me because I've done the work to not like I've grown my solar plexus enough to not allow people to just come into my energy just willingly at their own pace or at their own discretion. Now it's like I still know how to ground myself. I know what to do. I know how to do. But at the same time, I understand that I'm on Earth, and I understand that a lot of the things that other people like trip off of, I don't. So as in saying that, I take my energy back. So as in saying that, when you take your energy back from certain situations, you get to a certain level of consciousness where you can let your eyes go and just trust you can trust the pineal gland, but know the pineal gland is always being interrupted by these beings that we're about to start being conscious of. So as in saying that, the people that believe in like aliens and all these like interdimensional beings, we're going to start seeing that they're around. We're going to start interacting with them. Me, I already knew because, like I said, I've been doing this since I was 6 years old. And once I took away the outside perception of people around me who are still like in trauma and suffering, I was able to like always be the light for them, but I never let them take over my trip. You know what I mean? Saying that like you can know some shit, but you're the only person who's going to experience what you're knowing. So as in saying that, you're either going to be deterred by the people that's around you, and you're going to allow your not your government, you're going to allow these entities to like actually like to implant on your trip, or you're just going to do what you're supposed to do, which is doing the work for God. So as in saying that, because I know this is the one day that people actually like show up to work or do the work, you know what I mean? They pick and choose. I do this every day. I don't have to get up at 4:30 in the morning or 4 o'clock and do this work, but if I don't do this work, who's going to do it? You know what I mean? And because I'm like able to see into what like the humans do or people on Earth or the people do, I can see it now. Before I couldn't tap into that mind of trauma. I couldn't think like somebody who's traumatized until I was traumatized and implanted between these entities that these people talk to. So the thing that you don't understand, the thing that you will never comprehend is most of these people who are around here, not all of them, but these secret societies, those are the people who work with these entities that you don't know of. Like a lot of this shit, like they'll tell you some name of some demons to like throw you off and look for this. But the real thing is they talking to entities that you can never even comprehend. You know what I mean? So as they're saying that, you have to be able to discern between what's right and what's not right. I know that was a little left. I know. Fertility, the bunny, the rabbit. Just saw a rabbit. It means abundance, fertility. A whole bunch of this new life is finally coming in. And it gets to a place where you start to understand, you understand your relationship with these beings. Because now, this is the first Pisces season, like I've been saying. The first Pisces season where we have not fucking tripped. Where they weren't actually able to extort this energy from us. And because we're at this place of like truly doing the work and transcending this reality, where they used to be able to use these fourth dimensional like technology and these weapons to, what's the word I'm trying to use, to distort our reality and like give us commands. Now we're taking the power back. We're pretty much getting to a place where it's just like, we know what y'all are doing, we know what to look for, and now that we know what to look for, we can actually implement change. And that's why I keep saying these beings that these people have been doing work with, it's like, nah, they're not gonna work for y'all no more. And it's been shown over time. I'll go real left. Like when people talk about Hitler like doing work with aliens and all that shit, like who the fuck you think gave humans the ability to come up with nuclear weapons? Like what the fuck, like bruh. Motherfuckers went from not even having that kind of technology and knowledge to having all this crazy ass technology. Like bruh, they been here, bruh. Like, and it's the same shit that like most people don't actually get to the part of that work where it's just like, yo, like I ascend past this shit down here, so I understand what's going on. There was points in time when motherfuckers can traumatize me and keep me trapped in this snail and all this fake ass energy. But now it's like I know what's up. And because I know what's up, you're not gonna catch me with that fuck shit no more. So as I'm saying that, it's the shift is here. But this is where on a day-to-day basis, it's up to people to choose like, am I gonna transcend my reality or am I gonna allow my reality to be implanted on between beings that aren't really that strong? And it's a constant everyday thing. And that's why I say like, bruh, once you tap into like who you actually are and you start being what people want you to be, oh man, that's where the shit start. So as in saying that, man, just do the fucking work and don't let this shit get to you, because like, bruh, at the end of the day, it's all an illusion. And once you like actually understand like that you have the power, you can actually implant the change that you want. So as in saying that, just like the ability to stay grounded in reality, it changes everything. And where they're still trying to see if their trauma and their implants will get to me, it's like it don't get to me no more because I've done the work. And because I've done the work for so long, where people will be like, she's still in there, but I fucking do it. Where people are still doing that, like you get to the point where you grow and you be like, yo, I've done this. You know what I mean? Like, I've done this, I do this. So as in that, get to aspects and like certain time points will always keep coming back up. But at the same time, once you transcend these levels of low level attacks, at the end of the day, there's still low level attacks, but it's just like you're able to really see what's up. And once you can see what's up, it's like that episode of Atlanta, the first episode where motherfucking Darius, what the fuck is his name? Darius and Paperboy was at the club, or they was somewhere, and he just saw like some weird shit. Like, I remember, you know what I'm talking about, but it's about transcending the shit that's going on around you, because everybody's just watching to see how you respond to what they're doing. So once you stop responding to what people are doing, you can reach a certain aspect of like, yo, like, life is literally changing around me, and it's not about what's happening to me, it's about how I adapt. So it's not about what's happening, it's how I'm adapting to my situation. As long as you're adapting to your situation, you can cause the change that you want to see in reality, because none of this shit is real. It's just how well do you allow people to project this on your life? How well do you take your energy back from people who literally just like, they have no power other than putting you in fear. So once you transcend the fear, once you transcend the things that you're trying to do, you can reach a great place. The great place is here for everybody to tap into. Like I always say, heaven isn't in some place that's outside of reality. Heaven is here. Heaven is right here in the mind. So once you transcend that, you don't have to go to church, because you are the church. You are the temples. You have everything you have. God gave you all the abilities to be great. You gotta stop worrying about people watching you and people doing what they're doing, because they're not going to stop. And the more they know they got your attention, the more they have more energy and a hold on you. So it's always about just cutting those fucking cords and actually being your true authentic self. Because like at the same time, the what's the name that's going on, what's the word I want to use, the shift that's going on is going from old power to new power. New power to old power, because most people's traumas and things that, like, I'm still being attacked, like, don't get me wrong, this whole shift is going from like, this is the release on the mental hold that they were having on us, the 12th house attacks, the cutting down our higher faculties to ourselves. And the more and more we get to that place, it's like, damn, they've lied to us for years. And it's finally get to a point where it's just like, we don't have to listen and pay attention to their lies anymore, because half of the shit that they've been trying to get us to see into is what they can like click onto and be like, all right, he's woke, but we can manipulate him. So once they stop like overstimulating our chakras, we can do the things that we want to see. Once they stop implanting on our third eye and all these different places, We can literally transcend into the reality we're trying to transcend to. So it's not about what's happening to you, it's about how you respond to it. Right now, I'm still being attacked, but it's like, I know who's sending the attack, so I have to like, it's not that I have to show force, but I have to be able to be adapting. I have to adapt to it. Be consciousness right now with the sun being in Pisces is about the ability to adapt to these situations rather than like being controlled by these situations. So as in saying that, this is where you can see like the traumatized mind versus the healed mind. And that's what we're all looking towards. The traumatized mind versus the real mind. Because the traumatized mind is going to show me not having clothes on, but the healed mind is going to be like, yo, these niggas is tripping. So as in saying that, these entities are literally watching to see how you respond. So when they come towards you, you'll be able to actually be like, okay, he's ready for this. Let me actually like tap into the energy that he's trying to tap into. But you know, anyway, you're